Your 20s and 30s are such a crucial time when it comes to personal finance management. This is because you started earning, you have a job probably, or you've started entrepreneurship, but you're yet to get into the stage of life when you have such high expenses like children's school fees or aging parents that need your support. And so you have a combination of things that's quite unique. That is, you have enough money to invest and you have enough time to take advantage of compound interest. And I always say that when you put compound interest and time together, you have yourself a beautiful life hack. My name is Val Njoroge, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Africa's Pocket. We are your one-stop shop to learn about, plan for, and act on your finances. In today's video, I want to tell you a couple of things that you can do to put together a system that can really help you thrive, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s. If you're older than that, a lot of the content here will still be applicable to you, but please know that some of the things will need a bit of a different approach, and so do not repeat everything and kind of copy paste what we recommend for 20 and 30-year-olds. With that said, let's get into it. The first thing that I'll tell you to do from a systems perspective is actually to set aside money every single month and invest it. Whether this is 10 shillings, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever amount of money you can afford to put aside every single month, please start doing it as soon as you earn your first coin. There are two reasons for doing this. The first is that you're really going to build that financial muscle, that financial discipline of actually putting money aside every single month. When you look at the people who've made the most money when it comes to investing, it's because of consistency, not necessarily amount or outsized returns and things like that. It's about just doing it over and over and over every single month or quarter or whatever period of time you earn your money in. Now, this will really help you when you do have the tens of thousands or even millions of dollars to manage, because you have the discipline to actually be consistent with your investments, and so you can weather the storms. The second reason why this is important to do is because it will make you comfortable with financial markets and with the financial ecosystem. You'll get your documents in order, you'll figure out how to do your taxes when the stakes are low, you will understand how to ask the right questions to your financial partners. And all these things are extremely important to get right when you're investing, smaller amounts of money, because as you invest more and more, they become more and more important. And so, like I said, whether you're putting aside 10 shillings or $10,000, make sure that you're doing it consistently and every month, and make a habit of it. The second thing that I'll urge you to do is set up a retirement account. And I know whenever I start talking about retirement, eyes glaze over, yawns start, people start to doodle. And it's because we think about retirement as this thing that happens when you're 60 or 65 or even 70. But what about if you think about retirement as a choice to stop working, a choice to do whatever you want with your day, a choice to decide what kind of job you do, what kind of work you do. And that's how I prefer to think about retirement. And it is something that we all know is going to happen, and it's something that we all desire, is the ability to choose what to do with our time. Whenever we ask people what financial freedom means to them, one of the things that comes up is being able to pay my bills without having to work, being able to do the job I want to do, being able to live wherever I want to live. And a lot of this is just around choice. And so when you think about retirement as a choice, then it's only logical that you start working towards it as soon as possible. And one of the things that you can do when kind of planning for retirement is by opening up a pension plan, or kind of figuring out what your pension plan is going to be, and then subscribing to a pension scheme under that, or a couple of pension schemes under that, depending on your jurisdiction. And what this will allow you to do is just start to make contributions every single month towards that retirement number, or we can call it a financial freedom number. And then you are able to kind of in the future decide what you do with your time. And with retirement, whether it's the age or the choice of what to do with your life, it's something that is going to happen at some point. So it only makes sense that you really start working towards it as soon as you start earning money. And then the third and final thing I'll ask you to do when it comes to setting yourself up for financial success is understand how your parents and other dependents plan to spend their retirement and what plans they have for medical emergencies. Now, we know that black tax is a real thing. And the majority of the reason why we have black tax is because the people around us who we love, who are older, do not have a solid retirement plan. And this is not their fault. When you look at our systems, they're completely broken. You know, right now in Kenya, for example, 80% of people are going to retire poor, which means that 80% of young people have to support their aging parents. And so to avoid this, one of the things that I would recommend is taking an offensive approach and kind of figuring out, getting ahead of the problem and figuring out what can we do to make this retirement plan more solid. What are the assets that are available to us to be able to leverage? How can we do better financial planning to make sure that when people do make money in the family in their early 20s and 30s, they actually have enough money left over to actually invest and secure their own future. Now, each family situation is totally different, so I'm not going to go into what you can do specifically, but what I would advise is that you talk to a financial advisor or financial planner who can give you some options based on whatever circumstances you're in. Because if, for example, somebody is in their 80s versus in their 60s, you know, the way you approach them is completely different. Somebody who has assets versus doesn't, somebody who has a chronic disease versus someone who doesn't, you know, they're completely different how you kind of create a financial plan around it. But the very first step is in understanding, is there a plan? And it can be taboo, it can be a difficult subject to kind of approach with your parents or your loved ones, but it's important that you just kind of weather that storm and figure it out, because this is one of the things that can really change how your financial life goes. So take the plunge, have the conversation, everyone will be much happier for it. If you're in your 20s or your 30s, you will see that what I'm saying here is that really time gives you a huge advantage. When you combine it with compound interest, which these factors allow you to do, then you can really, really make leaps in your financial life. So please get started on investing as soon as possible. Get yourself a retirement plan and be on the offensive when it comes to protecting your family and taking care of your family and your dependents in their old age or in their time of need. And I will send you very good vibes from here, from my pocket to yours.